In this live coding session, let's keep going with test-driven development for SwiftUI, where we are writing unit tests or micro tests directly against our views. Hey, welcome to the Quality Coding live stream. My name is John Reed, and we already have important people in the house, Mud Shark and Dan. Good to see you guys. And Grant. Yeah, glad to have you here. And for folks who are watching after the fact, greetings. Welcome, Al. Welcome, folks watching after the fact. My name is John Reed. I am a technical agile coach. And yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry about last time. Sudden family thing. I thought just leaving a little message was the easiest way to get the message out. Hey, Omar, welcome. All right, we've got folks in the house. Tyler. Greetings, greetings. Swiftcraft is coming up, and actually because of Swiftcraft, sorry, the next two sessions are going to be off. I'm going to be out the next two Sundays, so sorry about that, because I've got to get on a plane and I've got to get my butt out to the UK. If you are in the UK or anywhere near the UK, come join Swiftcraft. And these are tough economic times for developers. A lot of folks have lost their jobs. So Swiftcraft announced, if you are between jobs, there's a job seekers discount for freaking £90. That's including the workshops and tutorials? Oh my gosh. So all you have to do basically is be able to survive out in the wild of Folkestone. So, get out there, and if you do, come say hi to me, please. I am an introvert, and so it's, I have to think about everything before I say it is really what it means. But I would love to meet you. I'm a social introvert. We'll have a grand time together. All right. Let us get to stuff. Where are we? We are working on Mastermind still. We will be for some time. Here we are. Discovery trees are great for being able to set some context that's not just like one ticket at a time in sort of living in space unrelated to anything else. Here you get to see the relationship between things as they progress. And so we can see, what do we want to work on next? Oh yeah, it would be great if the test could check the code, not the color, or somehow we work in the idea of a code or a key as a domain concept instead of just tossing colors around. So that seems like a good place to start. Let's just dive in. Also, this session will be planning on 90 minutes this time, right? That by popular demand, we kept running over. I'm not going to be Ted Young and Jitter Ted and do whatever. I think he did a 4.5 hour stream a couple days ago. I can't. You can also see that I've updated Xcode. That's because one of you, I forget who, said, hey, I'm getting this warning about actor isolated class. And of course, I didn't have that warning. I was using the previous version of Xcode. To use the latest version of Xcode, I had to update the OS, which is always painful for me. It is never as smooth as you might think. I actually downgraded. It didn't work. I had to downgrade, try again, find my ways to around the problems. Anyway, here we are in the latest Xcode, whatever it is, Xcode 15.3. And I do have that warning now. It seems that... why did I put this out here? The reason I did is I got annoyed at having to put main actor on tests. I didn't want to think about it. Even for async tests, I don't care what thread they're running on. In fact, my expectation from doing tests for a long time now is that they are started on the main thread. Async tests are not. Putting it as main actor forces it to be on the main thread. That's not so important. The thing is, right, to say it is an actor. I got tired of doing that. And so my test class template just put it out here. Well, apparently I can't do that anymore because XCTest case itself is not isolated. So one of two things. Either we move it, or, you know, and I debated, I went back and forth on this. Do I want all my tests now to say main actor? That seems like a bit of noise. I certainly don't mind them all saying throws, even for things that don't throw, because sooner or later there is something that does throw. And when we're using View Inspector, definitely we get the tries in here, right? But it does seem like noise to have it on every single test. So that's my solution. I went back and forth on it. I changed my mind. That should work. Well, we'll just put main actor wherever we need it. Oh, well. All right. And let's commit that. There have been, I've made a change, or rather Arlo's git notation, commit notation, is in the process of undergoing some changes right now. The risk factor now comes first. This is still in a pull request on Arlo's thing, where it's not like somebody else submitting it. It's Arlo himself collaborating with other people async, and that's why it's a pull request. But the idea is that the risk is the most important part, and it should come first. So if it's low risk, it's a small dot. If it's a little bigger risk, it's a dash. If it's higher risk, it's a star. So you do that first, and then you don't have to worry about putting these other things in uppercase or lowercase anymore. So this is actually a lot simpler. So we just did basically a test-only change. I guess it's not an environment change. So test-only change, move main actor. Like that. A few more folks have shown up. Hello, welcome. Glad to have you. As always, you're welcome to say hello in the chat and even ask about random stuff that has nothing to do with anything I'm doing. All right. We are trying to suss out, reminder, We're trying to get this. Hey, Ignacy, good to have you. We're trying to suss out a domain concept. It's like, is this is for the secret code? Let's go back here. We've got our domain stuff down here. We've got the code breaker and the code maker. So we've got a code, which is the series of colors, but they're not really colors. Because they're just guesses, right? I mean, they're just the thing that goes in the guess. So we play a game here. Here you can see what it looks like when this is the app I'm copying. I will not publish to be like, to get in their way. I'm just using them as a reference point. We've got easy 4 colors, color blind enabled. So this is an accessibility thing, right? And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 colors here. Brown, black, blue, green. What happens if I change this? I just want to see for a second. Brown, black, blue, green. Brown, black, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, and kind of an odd choice, gray. I'm just going to screenshot this. So we have it. So the idea is that we have different things you can guess. It's not really important what the color is. What's important is that, well, it's especially important that we don't lock down colors, because the design folks in our company might say, you know, we don't want gray. Brown is kind of gross. We'd like to change the colors around. And we should be able, as the programmers, to say, great, we're just going to change the colors in this one place, and then it'll change it everywhere and not break anything. Here is where we've got our hard coding. Hey, Sinead. So we've got this is a clue, and it was Bill Wake who called this out, saying we ought to have this domain concept. We've got blue here, we've got blue here. Oh wait, I should stay in Xcode unless I want the AI. Here's blue, right? So we've got blue, 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 blue all over the place. Let's extract an idea of a key, I guess. I would normally start in the test code to create a key, the idea of a key, but this is just going to be, I want to treat it as a refactoring at this point. What should it be? What should a key be? This is the first idea. The obvious idea is that it should be an enum, except the purpose of an enum, really, an enumeration, one of the main reasons you want to use an enumeration is to prevent programming errors. If we have an enumeration that has all 8 colors, but we're only using 4, or in our case 1, there's nothing inherent by using an enumeration case of like key 1, key 2, that would prevent you from using key 8 by mistake. So I'm not convinced that an enumeration is what I want. I think I want let's just start with a key. Yeah. This key will have a color. Like that. Even that much now should enable us to talk about having a key. I guess this is going to have to, if we have a key as opposed to key 1, then we're going to need a key protocol that has a color. Hey, look at that. Yeah, thank you. Sometimes Copilot gets in the way, but I'm finding it to be surprisingly helpful for TDD because because it is smart about reading the test, about taking the test name and that it needs to express something about that. It does a pretty good job, I've found. There are places it just falls down and loses its mind. Okay, so we have a key. We've got key 1 with a color of blue. Eventually, we'll probably want like that it should have a value or something, and we should have config. I'm just gonna ignore you. Yes. So Mudshark says, are you going to put n keys in an array for multiple keys? And I think that is the direction we want to go, is to have sort of like, what is the set of them? What is the set of all of them? What is the set we are playing with? Right? These are the things that are non-obvious to a programmer who doesn't know. Like, I happen to know how the mastermind game works. So this is why it's important to have the customer on hand in with you, or the QA person or the product person discussing, oh yeah, remember, we want to be able to do this. Let's see, because this is a value object, why don't we define the peg value to struct key or struct key peg? Instead of a protocol. I don't know. Maybe. I do know that I'm going to want the stored property. Oh, I see. let's play with this for a bit. Thanks, Dan. So you're saying instead of doing this, we could have a struct of a key that has a color. Nice. That could be simpler still. And simple is good. Fewer moving parts is good. I like this. We'll start with this. Yeah, this is all right. Fewer moving parts. Thank you. So what we would like, let's just keep playing here. If we have that's a pretty good, oops. Like that. Key 1 is color blue. Thank you. Now we can say the button color right now is color red. We can have another state that is oh, that's not a bad way to do it. Let's just accept that for a second. It's not key 1. Come back. This is not sure what it is yet. Oh, it's the guess. It's the guess 1. And this, can we have this be an optional key? Right? We don't have one yet. Not ready for an array yet, because right now we have just one and only one thing. So here we go. What I want to do is I want to shift away from using button color, and I want to shift toward using guess 1. To do that, the way I think of things, and this comes up a lot in refactoring, is parallel change, where we keep the old thing in place while we lay down the new thing, and then we shift stuff over to use the new thing, and then we get rid of the old thing. Parallel change. So I'm just going to blindly do this and that. The circle foreground color should be, well, it should be that's pretty good. Red is just there as a placeholder right now. I don't think we want red for the case where there is no guess. And that's ugly code, but we're just trying to refactor here for a second. Now, this should be key 1 color. Like that. Let's see if this works. Okay. This is a test-supported procedural refactoring. It's not low risk, it's medium risk, because mainly because it's not automated. I'm making a number of changes. So this is lay down or start using key. Code pegs, key pegs. Thank you, Dan. Code. I'm gonna finish this thought. Because now you're leading me to rethink the name key. You know, what is the part of the code that is the one color? What is that thing besides a color? I'm not sure. Let's finish up getting rid of now guess one. We should be able to get rid of, not guess one, button color. Whoa, look at that. I still have button color out here. So that's not good. Now button color should be only used there. Should be able to get rid of it there and get rid of it there. And this will finish our parallel refactoring. It did not. It did not. What happened? Optional blue is equal to optional blue. The color of the guess should not be equal to blue, and yet it is. I'm going to copy this. Slap it down over here. Thank you for that, Dan. All right. Clearly I got lost somewhere. And I'm not sure where. Let's figure it out. Or let's revert. So with a bit of a kind of a mental timer going, let's see if we can't straighten out what's going on. We have, I think what's confusing is that we have the two circles. We've got the two buttons here. This one is, wait a second, ID color. What does this ID apply to? I think I have these backwards. Let me reset. Right, I think this needs to come here because this is guess one. And this, whoop. Check me on this. I'll just have it check me on this. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. So I had them backwards. Right now, with this horrible UI, it's not clear which one is the guess and which one is the thing you are guessing with, the color you are guessing with. The guess comes in on the left-hand side. Why is it red? Why is this one red? Button color, button color, button color. Oh. There we go. This will still pass. There is no test about like what color the thank you, Dan. This is the code peg, and this is, which is it? Yes, this is the code peg, and this is the key peg, or the guess peg. This is really confusing right now. And the fact that I could change this is not ideal. You can see duplication now between key 1 here and key 1 here. But I'm going to check this in. Let me run it again. So here's, I'm going to change this now to blue by tapping on blue. Boom. That concludes you stop using color directly. Use key. It's the start. It's the start. These are early days. It's starting to work. Hey, we got more folks online. Say hello in the chat. It's good to have folks come by. Oh, I wanted to give a special mention. I got an email from Simon in Australia, who is unable to join us live because it's freaking 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever it is. And, you know, he's a sensible person. But he sent me a really great email describing how he is doing this same sort of stuff, using View Inspector and tapping buttons to change state for basically a flight panel, an airplane control panel simulator, not a flight simulator, but just something to teach people how to use the flight controls. And I thought that was great. So, hey, Simon, I just wanted to give you a special thank you for that. I'll reply to your email. I was super pleased because the ideas here, this of course, this UI is terrible. This looks dumb, but the power of doing this kind of testing, this kind of development is simply, if we can just say tapping a button changes something, well, that kind of opens up everything, doesn't it? Almost everything. There's lots of stuff outside of this that I wouldn't TDD, like animations. That's how something looks. So, how do we feel about this? This is an idea now. And I feel like that deserves its own view. Something where we can say this is going to be this is going to have its own thing. That's a peg. It's a code peg. It's a, more specifically, it is a, yeah, it's a code peg, not a, we might have to, code pegs, these are the pegs used to give the feedback to the, okay. Oh, wait. There's the codes and the keys. Oh, Dan, thank you. I forgot. We're going to have multiple pegs involved because I forgot there are these pegs here. These are the keys or the feedback. Shoot, we'll do some renaming. Here, I'll play a game, or I'll play something for you here. Okay, so I got 0 feedback here. Let's do, there. I got a black key. Right. Thank you, Dan. Got a black key there as feedback that I have one color in the correct position. All right, so key is the wrong word. It's a code. It's something related to codes. Like, what is one part of a code? It's a character, really. If we're thinking about codes as language, it's a code. It's a code. Give me some ideas here. Or I'll ask chat. Chat, where'd you go? Actually, let's just ask. I don't want to ask chat directly up here. Codelet. Let's ask here. This is the cursor app, which is still, I think, in its early stages. It is Visual Studio Code with integration with some other things here. Let's see. For the game mastermind, the code maker selects a series of colors. That these make up the code. What are good names for the individual, can't type, of the code besides, I don't want to call them colors because game should be accessible Give me 7 ideas. Pegs, slots, markers, symbols, keys, tokens, units. Atoms. Peg. Except we've got the 2 types of pegs. But they are code pegs, not key pegs. So is it a code peg? That's better than key. Yeah, okay. I think code peg is where things are starting to go. Thank you, Dan. Woo! Let's do some renaming. Let's use Xcode. This is going to be a code peg. And that should just fly through. So this is an automated refactoring, so it's low risk. And so that's code peg 1, really, right? Yeah, it's the same peg. Button color is still hanging around. Oops, that ought to go away. Let me get this in. Now we should be able to get rid of this. I forgot to clean that up. There we go. I think you're starting to get the idea of the commit notation. So I'm just going to type it here. This really is, the fact that it built is the test. So now we can remove unused state. All right. This is starting to, it's amazing what getting the right naming does. It really starts to change things. So now I would like to pull this out. Maybe the whole thing. Yeah. Let's pull all this out. And this is where I need to get in the habit when I'm using Xcode and doing SwiftUI to remember that for all my complaining about Xcode's refactoring being really unimpressive, but there are good things that it does. There are all these things for that are not refactorings necessarily. This one is. That are around changing the structure of SwiftUI that would make it just a whole lot easier. It's okay to have struct CodePeg as the type. Then the name of the variable guessPeg and CodePeg could be used to represent the different concepts. Yeah, we'll see. Let me extract this. Where to put it? Extracted view. So it's not a pure refactoring. It just broke stuff. But we can give it some parameters. This is now not. I'm just going to type this, but this is what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say what is the code peg and have it pass in there so that then we can say this becomes code peg, not code peg 1. Oh, button is clear out here. The guess 1 is out there. Okay. Let's reset. We'll try this another way. Environment variables to me are something to avoid. That doesn't mean never use them. But I think this should be able to pass in. Here's a question. Can we pass the guess 1 along even though this is state belonging out here? I don't know. I don't know. We can pass in a closure. How about that? All right, let's reset. Try again. A binding, thank you. It could be a binding. It could be a closure. A binding. Right. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Just to start us off, I'm going to copy this and then undo it. I'll show you what I mean. First, I'm going to grab it so that I've got it and say undo. Right, so we're back in green. I don't know what it's thinking down here. And let's build this up. This is going to be a code. It's it's going to be a, I don't know. A code peg for your guess. A terrible view. A terrible name. It will take a binding. So it will have like this. Here we go. And it will take the code peg. With these, this should build, right? So now the question is, can I take this? Oh, and this should be something we specify. Come on. Wrong ID. That? Simon asked, what is the difference between an ID and a tag? And I don't know. I looked it up. It looks like they're two different but related concepts, and that if everything has a tag, or if anything with an ID, the ID is also the tag unless you override the tag. I don't understand the distinction. So I'm going to stick with IDs for now, but we should be able to say, let's take this out and instead have a code. Oh, yes, all these things. Look at that. Question is, will this work? Okay. That's too bad, but we'll do it. Build fails. Should CodePeg1 be just CodePeg in the subview? Yes, it should, but I'm just trying to get it to build right now. Guess one is an optional code peg. Oh, I got it wrong here. Here we go. Woohoo! Look at that. I don't like the order of this, but, and yeah, you're right, Mudshark. We shouldn't have CodePeg 1 and guess 1 in here, but it worked. Let's see. So this is teasing out a new view, but it is still a refactoring of medium risk. Extract view for Probably need a better name for that still. Okay, let's do some renaming. Can I rename the binding so that you can pass in a different stats vars and still use a common name in the subview? Not following you, but definitely it shouldn't be one, right? It should just be guess. So out here, I think this still needs to be guess one. Here it makes sense that we're passing in guess as a binding here. I'm going to take multiple steps here. Feeling bold. Yeah, okay. So that's some renaming. So automated rename vars. Xcode still hasn't figured out that I've updated. I've made the commit. It's showing these blue things out here. How is this from the call site? This name is gross. We can improve that. The code peg, the ID, the guess. I guess that order is okay after all. I would like a space here. And. By the way, what we're seeing is me refactoring SwiftUI without relying on the preview to look at it and then poke at things manually to see if I have things working. Right? This is the power of microtests, is I can just go like this and be happy. And I think this is an important point to make about people say you shouldn't have, you don't need tests for SwiftUI. Why not? Because you can see it. Yeah, but then you still have to look at it. You still have to think about it. You're still doing the verification. You still have to tap on a thing to make sure it's still connected. All that is done for me. Why wouldn't you want that automated? Let's rename code for your guess. Code peg for your guess. That needs a better word. Because we're going to have multiples of these, right? We're going to have, oh shoot. They shouldn't be tied to individual guesses. That's okay. I'm going to keep it as is for now. What I realized is that the guess sort of target keeps moving. In fact, we can select it manually. See that? So right now we're getting away with it because there's only one slot. So we'll come back there. Let's make a note of that. Note. Whoops. I think we're going to need the idea of where, What is the current guess target? Something like that. This is cool. Hey, we did this. We are currently doing this. All right. Probably the currently selected target slot, something that holds the guess. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. We'll get there. This is one of the things about TDD is you have to trust. You're trusting your future self. Let's see. What else was I looking at? Oh, the name. What is it? It's not a code peg for your guess. It's a code blah, 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 blah. Code peg view. Yeah, it should probably be called view something view. Chat, one of the things that chat is good at is suggesting names. You know, it helped us here. Mainly because it'll throw out, especially if you ask it for give me 5 ideas or give me 7 ideas, and it will spit those things out, and those may prompt you to choose a completely different direction that it didn't suggest, but it gets you unstuck. Code. What's a better name for the because there's in the real world you pick up a peg and stick it in, and that's not what we do in the game. We select a color, we select a specific code peg and say we want to use this. It's a selection. It's a selector, a selecting view, a selector view. There we go. Code peg selector view. Feeling better, looking better. Peg picker. Code peg picker view. Picker. Actually, it's not bad. Selector sounds more complex. I keep reaching for rename. I'm aware that there is Command Shift E, or is it Command Option E? No. What is select all or all in scope? Edit all in scope. Yeah, Control. The thing about pickers is like it makes you think of picking your nose, right? So that's better. Code choice view though. Code peg choice view. I'm liking that. All right, let me try this. So, advantage of this is it's fast. Disadvantage of it is that it only works within scope, within one file. And so I'll probably stick with this, even though it has that animation, which I wish I could set like some sort of secret variable for, like, just make it faster, would you? I don't need all this folding business. Code peg, code choice, code peg choice, code choice view. Code choice view takes a code peg. Grant, you maybe have the winner there. It's certainly better. All right. You get the special hat. It can be private. Not sure if we care about that at the moment. Let's make it private for now. Very good. I really like how it simplifies the game screen. That's a thing to look for. These will, of course, this will also come out, right? We're going to have these repeated. But the whole idea of the guest target, that's something. Before I extract something else and regret it, I'm already starting to regret it. I feel like we need an idea of what the target is. I'm not sure how to do that. We'll get there. We're going to get there when we add, not when we add the second code, but when we add a second guess. So this is done. What if we add another code? So what Dan shared, the Control Command E, is this, right? It doesn't disable the animations exactly, but it is fast. I mean, it avoids doing. It's not the same thing as the rename refactoring, which will pick up the name anywhere and everywhere it's used. One nice thing about making it private is that you know it's only within this file, and so we are safe doing this. Thank you for that reminder. Okay. Let's improve this UI. We've got an H stack here. This is what we want. We want a V stack here and an H stack here, and composed in various ways. I also like the way these are. There's some visual language here about the white rectangle that contains this. The round targets. Let's do some styling. Do, do, do. $246, $248, $250. We make that the background color. What is that? I know there are tools to do this. Actually, if you have a favorite tool that does this, let me know. Instead of having to come through and do it this way. 246, 248, 250. 246, 248, 250. Gives us what do I want to do? I want to change set of background color of this whole thing. Right? That much will be... it lost its mind. It looks like this is Copilot hallucinating. Or maybe not. Nope. It is Copilot hallucinating. All right. Oops, I hid you guys. Let's here, maybe we can do it like this. Set background color of view to well, there it is, the background color. I guess I didn't need to find the hex value. I'm so used to using hex values that this was a waste. Okay. That is an approach, but obviously not the right approach. That's better, but it's got this underneath. What is this space? Safe area? Yeah, maybe. Tell you what, let's pull this out, set it back. Ignores the safe area. Let's ask here. So it looks like it is on the H stack. It looks good. I mean, yeah and no. It's more like I want it on, excuse me, on the game screen, the whole screen, and the game screen right now is only this itty bitty thing. We did better with the Z stack, honestly. Let's see if we can't use the Z stack. Hi, Dustin. Can set the frame. Yeah. Not sure what it should be. Z stack and oh. Here we go. Let's Z stack that sets background color and ignores safe area. Let's see what it says. There we go. Let's make sure that our tests still pass. Good. This is the kind of thing that I don't want tested. This is just appearance. I don't want tests that there's a Z stack and that it has a background color and that it ignores the safe area. This is nice. Let's commit that. What is this? This is a feature. We're doing styling. Okay, now I wonder if we can move away from this default red to, do a little more styling, so that it's like this. This is interesting. So an unselected or an unset code peg guess area, whatever it is, it's got the little circle in there that looks like it's not a background color, it's this other color. What is it? Wow, what's going on here? I think the color meter has lost its mind. Because I've got the display scaled to be super big for folks. What even is this? Oh, that's code. One large using, a stroke, and then something like that. Exactly. That would be nice. It would be nice to visually separate this because we had that confusion about which is which. Where's the guessing and where's the selecting? I think, yeah. Color meter, you have lost your brains. We can just pick a color. We can just call it dark gray for now, and then I'll always tweak it. We are approaching time. So before we add the second code, Ignacy, where'd you get that? Thank you. We haven't really started adding the second code. What we are doing is styling. Okay. I'm starting to feel a little tired. At this point, I would, if we were like really doing this all day, I'd say we are long overdue for a break. We've done like 3 Pomodoros. So I think this is probably a good time to wrap up. What do you think? This has been really interesting. If you look at, here now you can see in one, can't column select. If you look at the risk of the changes we have made, there have been a few low risk ones with the dots, couple of medium risk ones with the dashes, right? This is what we want for the most part. We want to stay away from the big, nasty, scary ones. Let's do a retro. All right, what did we learn? Naming is important. Naming is hard. Thank you. And important. Binding to pass in external state. We were able to do could refactor SwiftUI without using preview. That was a really nice win there. And I'll just add this. There's no need to test styling unless we want to test the styling. If that makes sense. There's no need to say this is this or that is that. When something is changing, when we have a distinction between the color pegs, will we need tests around that? I don't know. We may even have different types. We'll see. Any other thoughts? All right. Well, this is starting to feel good. I feel like this was a really good session. Thank you so much for participating and essentially making this a chat mob, as it were. It really makes a difference. A reminder, I will be at SwiftCraft in the UK. So for the next 2 weeks, sorry, apologies to subscribers. I'll be back after that. Other than that, was there anything else? I don't think so. So yeah, see you in 3 weeks. Sorry for the delay. Thanks for all your help. Oh, for folks who are watching on YouTube, hey, thanks for sticking it out. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, do all the things. All right. With that, take care, folks. And if you're going to be in the UK, please grab me. Let's talk. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.